Welcome back to The Shift. Today I'm joined by Gabrielle Van Horn, our Senior Director of Client Services for Yardi PHA. Gabrielle has spent years helping housing authorities navigate regulatory change, and there certainly hasn't been a shortage of that today. Gabrielle, you've spent years helping agencies navigate regulatory change. From your perspective, what are the biggest priorities for the Yardi PHA team right now?
Well, as you can imagine, Jeff, we're very focused on HOTMA 102 and 104, NSPIRE, and of course, AI. I think the political landscape has changed a lot. There's a lot of emphasis right now from HUD on accountability, asking agencies to substantiate the documentation that they provide to HUD. I also think there's been a lot of changes to funding over the course of the last few years that has applied pressure, perhaps inadvertently, on agencies. Everyone is trying to do more with less. It's a stressful time to be a PHA.
Yeah, and it seems like a lot of agencies are shifting from public housing to other program types, and so just being introduced to new program requirements adds pressure too. Would you agree?
Absolutely. In addition to RAD, we're seeing lots of other types of funding changes happening, people doing demo dispos and just trying to find ways to add more affordable housing and also retain whatever they can.
Yeah. There are two acronyms that everyone's talking about right now, and those are HOTMA and NSPIRE, and you alluded to these earlier. But let's start with HOTMA. What is HOTMA trying to accomplish overall?
So HOTMA is actually a series of a lot of different laws that are supposed to help align various federal programs, streamline them, and provide inflationary adjustments. If you think about, as an example, dependent allowances, they've remained the same for more than 20 years. So HOTMA gives PHAs an opportunity to increase those allowances, which will of course benefit the families.
As agencies are preparing for HOTMA, what are the biggest adjustments they're having to make?
This law has many business impactful changes. The 50058 form is changing. The file format is changing. Regulations around interims, just lots of changes. Honestly, Jeff, in the almost 24 years that I have been working with PHAs, this is the most impactful operational change in my experience.
Yeah, there's the operations side and there's the software and technology side. So
That's right.
What do you think Yardi's helped simplify in terms of software implementation?
Well, I'm very grateful in many ways for our moving to work agencies, because as it happened, some of the HOTMA initiatives were things that moving to work agencies had already thought of or invented over the years. And since we're a supplier for many moving to work agencies, some of the HOTMA features were already there in our software. So I think we have a lot of experience with things like hardships, which are an important part of the remaining implementations. We have done JSON files, we have done JSON exports before. So these are not new to us, but they may be new to many of our PHAs. I'm looking forward, though, to moving into this next generation of technology with HUD. It's actually kind of exciting.
Yeah, I would agree. And what advice would you give agencies that are still sort of working through the adoption process and maybe adjusting their admin plans as such?
I would strongly encourage everyone to attend as many trainings as possible. HUD has free trainings, also industry groups. Yardi will be providing free webinar trainings to all of our customers. They'll start on July 21st for the PHA division. If you are not using Yardi, I encourage you to talk to your software vendor to find out what their plan is for training.
Now let's shift from HOTMA to NSPIRE. How has Inspire changed inspections as a whole?
Well, I'm inspired by Inspire, Jeff. And what I'll say is, I think that Inspire simplifies the inspection process in some ways and will make it a little less confusing, especially for landlords as we move forward with HCV implementation, because instead of reporting everything that was inspected, now we'll only be reporting the things that were deficiencies found in the unit. I think that makes it easier for landlords to understand what it is that they need to correct.
Yeah. What about the challenges? So what challenges are agencies experiencing during this transition?
I think anything new is confusing. Some of the protocols have new requirements that may be a surprise to some landlords, I would say. However, I think once everybody gets going, that we'll all find that it's easier and more straightforward. And again, we're aligning public housing, multifamily, and HCV will all have very similar protocols.
Excellent. What would you say Yardi is doing to help streamline the inspections process?
So we have a new mobile app. I'm very excited about it. Very simple, easy to use. In our landlord portal, we're giving landlords the ability to upload proof of remediation for deficiencies that they find, if the PHA has that as an option in their administrative plan. I think altogether it's going to be much simpler to use, easy to understand, and easier for new inspectors to onboard. It's a very simple interface.
Excellent. So it sounds like between HOTMA and NSPIRE, there's some long-awaited changes that are finally sort of unfolding, and it's just a matter of PHAs adapting, training, being ready for them, and it sounds like Yardi's well positioned to support clients.
You know, Jeff, our clients are going through so much right now. These changes, while they impact the software, it really impacts everything that they do, their policies. It's a big lift.
Yeah.
I'll say that. We want to do anything we can to make the process easier, more straightforward, and try to ease burden where we can.
I know there's been more innovation coming into this area over time. Where do you see compliance technology headed, say, over the next few years?
Here at Yardi, a lot of our focus is on the use of artificial intelligence. So, of course, with guardrails in place, we'll be looking to simplify things. Some examples would be automating portability forms for our customers, things like that, helping to define whether a rent increase request is reasonable or not. These are all things that we'll look to do with artificial intelligence in the very short term, I would say. In the long term, I think we'll be using it to analyze data, to make important decisions about our business. Where are the needs in a particular community? How can the PHA best help? And also, when you look at resident services, what is working and what isn't working so that PHAs can make the best use of the funds they've got. So we're excited about the future, and especially about the future of AI and Virtuoso, which is Yardi's AI platform.
One thing that's always impressed me is the depth of compliance expertise that we have on the Yardi team. I mean, anywhere from our talented developers to the incredible compliance teams that, from my perspective, truly understand the ins and outs of HUD regulations. And that's really the expertise, Gabrielle, that you and your team bring to Yardi. But tell us, what makes your compliance teams unique?
I do think we've been very fortunate that we've been able to, over the years, hire people with real life hands-on experience working at a housing authority. No matter how much we may try to train people on compliance, there's nothing like learning from an actual PHA. So I do think that experience has been especially valuable for us.
Why is that expertise important when regulations continue to evolve?
In order to understand the implications of what the regulatory changes are, you have to know what the rules were before the changes came and also how they were implemented both by HUD and by various PHAs. So it isn't just understanding what the new laws mean, it's understanding how it will be applied. I think we've come up with a lot of good questions for HUD and for our customers too about how best to help implement things. And again, I feel very confident at this point, or maybe shouldn't say again. I feel very confident at this point that we will meet all of the HOTMA regulations and the NSPIRE regulations on time and correctly to the best of our ability.
Yeah, I would agree. It seems like that expertise, that experience that we have gives our teams the context they need to be able to implement these changes successfully. And how does that translate into better outcomes for our clients?
Because we have a depth of experience, we understand when people are asking us to make changes or enhancements to our software. We have an understanding of how the operations will be impacted so that we can plan for training and to assist our clients through this difficult transition period.
Gabrielle, it's been great to chat with you today. Do you have any final words for the audience?
I do, actually. I just want to express my gratitude to our customers for all that they do, for the families that they serve. We are grateful to be partners with them. And thanks for inviting me, Jeff. It's been fun.
Yeah, my pleasure. And I think all of us are grateful for you. And there's a reason why the industry refers to you as the Queen of Compliance. So thank you for your time, Gabrielle.
That was fine.
As we wrap up, there is a common theme at play here. Technology's role is not to replace compliance expertise. Rather, it's here to help agencies to be more proactive and efficient, and ultimately more confident in meeting HUD requirements. Virtuoso Enterprise is becoming the platform that brings all of these capabilities together. From compliance and inspections to accounting and property management, it's bringing AI-powered assistance and operational insights into one system to help agencies work more efficiently. Thank you for joining us today, and we'll see you on the next episode of The Shift.